Hello, if you want to know how to analyze your own game and become tactical stronger, keep watching. So as you may know, I have been analyzed some of my own games and posted it so you guys could follow how I go through a match and how I try to analyze it. But in this video, I want to talk about maybe a little bit more behind the thoughts I have when I'm analyzing. And for me, there is two very important things that you should look for when you analyze a game. So first thing is that the more knowledge you have about the hole they play in, the better you can analyze the game. So if I should give you an example, like I was playing in Madrid for 1 or 2 months ago, and I knew that shuttle would be so fast. That shuttle. So one of the big, so one of the most important things is to. So one of the most important things is that if the more knowledge you have about the hole you're watching, like the match you're analyzing is, the more knowledge you have about the hole, the more you can get out of that match and the analyze. Because if you don't know the hole really well, then there can be some areas where he might not play in the same way, because sometimes you're really you don't have so many options as you normally have when you maybe practice, because you are in a good hole and there's no wind, the shuttle is not fast or not slow, they are just right. But if you are in a hole where there is a lot of wind and maybe the shuttles are really fast or something like that, then the game you're playing is changing a little bit, and you cannot do everything that you want to, because you cannot control the shuttles, or maybe the wind is crazy. So the more knowledge you have about the hole, the more you can get out of your analysis. For an example, I was in Spain and the shuttles there was super fast, so it was almost impossible to lift. So that meant that I had to be really high at the net and get the lift so I could smash. Because if I was low at the net, I would just be down here, and then I couldn't be playing back to the net, because if I'm low at the net, he can just easily kill it if I play back. So if I was low, maybe if I had to play the net, I would be playing it back to the net with some angle on, or else I had to lift, and that would be really bad, because otherwise maybe I would hit it out because the shuttle is super fast, or otherwise you would probably just smash it down. So why is this important? Yeah, because as I said before, if you know that the hole is like this, then you can see, okay, he is trying to move fast at the net, or he is trying to get the attack, because it's a really tough hole to play in because of these different things that makes it really difficult. So try to look at, if you can see on YouTube, if you search on YouTube your opponent's name and badminton, and then it comes up, then try to find a hole you know a little bit about. That would be best, because then you can see, okay, I know that this is just a hole where there is no wind and the shuttle is fine, and so on. Then you can really look at, okay, how is he normally playing. But you might also go to a place where there is really fast shuttles. Then you should try to find a match where the shuttles is really fast. Then you can see how he is playing, how he's approaching that game, and then you can come up with a plan to do against what he was doing. So the second important thing is that you have to look at more than one match, because it's really important that you see him play against different opponents, because we don't play the same. And then you can see what he's doing, if the opponent is playing really aggressive or maybe quite defensive or maybe in between. And it would be really great if you could find someone that reminds a little bit of yourself, because then you can see and relate, okay, I'm also playing these kind of shots, what is he doing when the shuttles are coming in this way. Then you can make a plan and yeah, against that. So try to find different matches and different opponents, or maybe an opponent that reminds a lot about how you play, and then you can make up a plan what to do against your opponent. And here in the end, I can give you some tactical tips as well. If you're playing in a fast hole, like with fast shuttles and stuff, where it's really hard to lift, then it's super important that you try to take the net. And that means that maybe you have to be a little bit more ready at the net, and then be okay with taking the shuttles with some drives at the back, as long as you are high at the net. That would be what I would do if I was in a really fast hole, because if they are lifting, they don't have the attack, so that would be fine. And also if I'm down here and take the drives here, that's fine, as long as I'm high at the net, because then at a time I will get a lift, and then I can kill it, hopefully. If you're playing in a super slow hole, it's really important that you play with angles from the back, and also with good height and good length on your clears and lifts, because then you make the court really big, and that's super important, because if you're playing in a slow hole and you just play to your opponent, it's gonna be so tough for you, because then you will have to cover a full court, and he would maybe have the box to stand in. So try to play with some angles, make the court big, also with the lifts and the clears. And it's okay to lift in a slow hole, because it's easier to be in the defense. So don't be afraid to lift with good height and good length. It would be also attack in a way in a hole like that. Yeah.